Hi Taurus, welcome to Magpie Moonchild and welcome to your monthly read for October. As always, the housekeeping is down below along with the subscription button if you feel so inclined as to follow. I'm going to be pulling a card for each week. So the first card will be the first week, second week, third week, and then the final part of October will be in that fourth card. And then I'll pull a fifth card, which is the overall energy of the month that we are going through. So let's see what we have for you, Taurus, for the first week of October. What do we have for Taurus for the first week of October? We have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is about clear communication, making clear plans, making sure that we are covering all the legalities, or making sure that our communication is quite clear, especially with Mercury retrograde we've just come into. It's about making sure we have clear communication, that we are negating any ambiguity, making sure that we are being, with this being the Queen of Swords rather than the King of Swords, being mindful of other people's emotions when we are communicating, that maybe our words do hurt, they have power to do damage, and making sure that with that clearing of ambiguity, we're making it very clear that we are doing things in a positive way, that we're not attacking people. The Queen of Swords can also neglect their emotions sometimes and be a bit too logical. However, it feels kind of a positive energy for you this week, for this first week of October, Taurus, because it kind of feels like you're seeing the bigger picture. The Queen isn't completely detached from her emotions. Sometimes she suppresses them. So you're making decisions based on what makes the most logical sense, but make sure that you are tapping into what that could possibly mean for your emotional self as you move forward. There's also butterflies all around this. So this is you emerging. It feels like you're using your voice more this week, that you're emerging with you're being quite vocal with your opinions or your beliefs, or articulating what it is you want and why you're doing things, being quite passionate with your speech this week, passionate with your communication. So yeah, make sure what you're trying to convey in your words is very clear. Make sure that you're not coming across as too sharp and too cold and too cutting, but equally not taking any emotional manipulation, because the Queen of Swords does not take emotional manipulation. The involvement and the emergence and the transformation that somebody is going through this week with Taurus is going to be very much, I am no longer being emotionally manipulated, recognizing those red flags, and by recognizing it and no longer tolerating it, having those clear boundaries, you are emerging and evolving in this fully formed self that has respect for your worth and your value, and you are not afraid to speak up and say, you cannot do that to me, I will not tolerate that behavior, and setting and reinforcing those and maintaining those boundaries that you've started putting in place. And I think that's a really beautiful place to be. And if that is your energy that week, oh my God, congratulations, well done. That's one of the hardest life lessons to do, is to recognize our worth and reinforce boundaries. So well done for doing that amazing work. The second week of Taurus, let's see what we have for the second week of October for Taurus. We have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is knowing where it is we want to be and trying to work out how we get to where we want to go. The Wand suit is all about adventure, it's about instincts, it's about passions, it's about drive, it's about inspiration. Right now you feel very fired up to go and do a task, to go on a journey, whether that's spiritual, physical, whatever it is. You feel very inspired and you know where you want to go. The Two of Wands is about starting to put that plan in place, to kind of bring the creative idea through into making it a actual manifested reality. Your will bring that into being, but it's about recognizing that yes, we're very passionate, yes, we are very excited, and the Wand suit is very excited and very passionate and very driven, but the Wand suit is also quite flash in the pan and it's over quite quickly. So make sure that you recognize that this is a mountain that you want to climb. You're going to need to have resources. You're going to need to be in a place where you can make adjustments. You're going to have to recognize that there are going to be obstacles on the way. It isn't necessarily going to be plain sailing, and that when you're planning, make sure that you have things in place so that when obstacles that you can see coming up, that there is things in place to navigate them or to get over them. There are creative solutions that get you past those obstacles, because at the end of the day we want to climb the mountain, but we don't want to feel restricted and lose our passion and drive along the way. So if we can navigate and get a heads up on what the obstacles could be, which comes with all that planning and seeing the bigger picture, you should have a clearer path to where it is you want to go, whether that is an actual literal place. Maybe you do want to climb a mountain and you need to start planning for that and putting these strategies in place for unforeseen obstacle or perceivable obstacles, foreseeable obstacles. There are going to be unforeseen ones, but you can at least negate most of the obstacles with the ones that you are aware could come up or are likely to come up. For the third week of October, we have the Four of Cups, and it could be that you're feeling quite apathetic and quite numb the third week of October. So I don't know if this will hold any significance for you this week, that third week. The days are getting a little bit darker. We start to go into this, the temperature gets a bit cooler, and sometimes we get into that kind of sadness of the days aren't so bright, and we've got to look forward to is winter. Winter's a wonderful time period, though. I don't think we recognise how wonderful that gift is of the winter, where we have that womb time to go insular, to go and sit with ourselves and decide where it is we want to go and start putting in the groundwork of what we want to bring into being when it comes into springtime. So the Four of Cups is also a kind of not recognizing that there's an opportunity around us, and it's not because we're not necessarily looking for them, it's just we're not looking in the right place, or we don't want to see this opportunity that's coming in for us. It could well be that for some people they are getting a new intuitive gift, whether that's clairsentience or clairaudience or any of those kind of spiritual senses that you could be getting. You may well start getting dreams that have messages, but you're not. So what I would recommend for that week, or just in general, is to write down your dreams, because it kind of feels like you're getting signs and symbols. And as we journal and we reflect over the journal, we recognize that there are patterns coming in and that there are messages in there for us, that we are being given these divine messages. So start journaling, start writing down what it is that's going on, whether it's in your dreams or you just get these feelings, these sensations, you just kind of know something, getting in touch with your intuition. It could be that you see a certain bird and you think, oh, I wonder what the symbolism of that bird is. Say there's an eagle in the sky and there's not normally eagles where you are. Maybe there's a message in that, you seeing that eagle. There's a message in spirit medicine, in eagle medicine for you, in order for you to kind of have some kind of guidance from the spirit realm. So it could be that there are messages coming in and you're just not seeing them because you're not actively looking for them. They're coming in. It could even be that you're asking for a sign and they're not looking for the sign, or you're being given the sign and you're dismissing it because, oh, no, that's not a sign, because that's just my brain saying it. Sometimes a sign is a sign. It's not your brain telling you that it's something. It actually is. There is a crane fly up there. It's not a fairy. It's not an angel. There's a crane fly flying around my kitchen. So let's see what we have for the fourth week and the last part of October for you as we go in towards Halloween or Samhain. So let's see. There we go. This one wants to go. We have the Death card at the end, the last week of October, which is, some people don't like it. I think it's a beautiful card, and it's kind of that energy that I was talking about, that there are signs coming in. The Death card really does sum up this time of year for me as we go into Halloween, and it's about recognizing and taking the time to honor the fact that things fall away, things die off, things fall. In fall, in autumn, we see the leaves come down from the trees, and we see what's left of the harvest plant mulching down and decomposing, and all this what was fertile, amazing things are starting to decompose and fall away. But it has to do that. It has to do that. So the apple has to rot on the ground so that those seeds can go into the ground and all the nutrients can mulch away and become compost, so that those trees, those seeds, those trees can grow from the nourishment of that decomposed and rotted apple. So it's very important that we recognize that sometimes things have to fall away in order to allow new growth in springtime. As I was saying, things fall away now, and then the seeds go down and they go through that womb period where they're kind of getting ready to emerge in springtime, to break forth and have all this incredible potential coming forth in spring, and then we're going through the spring into the summer, and then we have the harvest again this time next year. So it's about recognizing that there are cycles, that things fall away, and they fall away for a reason, and we have to honor that. And there may be things, that signs that are coming through for you, like this is going to fall away from you. Things, sometimes when things are going wrong, it's because that energy, whatever that is, isn't right for you right now. So it may well be that a friendship, you're trying to reconnect with someone and it isn't happening, and it's because that person isn't supposed to be in your life anymore. As hard as it is to accept that, and as painful as it is, and there is that aspect to the death card, that there is this painful removal of things. But the difference between the Tower card and the Death card is there's an element of acceptance with the Death card, that you are allowing it to fall away, that you are recognizing and honoring that friend was a beautiful part of your life, but that phase where you two journey together is now over. There are some wonderful lessons and memories from that relationship, but that person doesn't fit into the person that you are now. You've evolved, but you've evolved away from each other. By releasing that friend, by honoring them and recognizing, I love you and I'm letting you leave with love and kindness, and wishing you nothing but happiness or positivity. I wish you well, and allowing them to kind of leave. They may well come back in the future. You never know. With death, there is that element of rebirth. They may well come back in the future, but equally, sometimes they fall away because a new soulmate is supposed to come in on this part of your journey, and you didn't have space for both of them at the same time. So you may well find that this end of October, as we get to Samhain and we're recognizing what is falling away, what is dying off, and that mortal kind of side of that cycle, but it's recognizing that that has to happen in order for things to spring forth and grow from that time of that, from the energy of that falling away. As we know, energy can't be destroyed, it just changes form. So in this case, that soulmate is falling away, but it's coming into potential energy for this new person to come in and take in the actual energy of that space. Let's see what we have for your overall energy for the month of October. The overall energy for this is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, it's all about our passions, our drive. It's also somebody that inspires morale in other people. It could well be that you're going through this situation where you're doing this work of where it is you want to be, that you have this ending and how you're going to progress from this ending. Like something has come away and you're recognizing that, do you know what? I know where it is I want to be. I know how I want to get there. I know that I have the will and the power to get, and the drive and the instincts and the intuition to get to where it is I want to be. I have to allow this to fall out. I have to sacrifice something. Something has to go in order for me to then progress to where it is I need to be. It may well be that a relationship ends, but by that ending, by that relationship that isn't working, that you're pouring all your time and effort into, it means that they are removed, and you now don't have to worry about another person. You can take this as an opportunity to go, I've always wanted to travel, and then you go and do that, take that life-changing trip. It's about recognizing that although this painful ending has come in, there is a new opportunity, a whole new phase, a whole new life you could possibly bring in off the back of it. So absolutely witness the pain, process the pain, allow yourself to feel the grief of something being removed that meant so much to you, but also honor and recognize that there is an opportunity, that this is now providing the springboard and the growth foundation for you to move forward to. Where do you want to be? What have you always wanted to do? Where have you always wanted to go? What inspires you? What gives you drive? What keeps your morale going? Also, if you're struggling, go and find somebody who always kind of gives you these rallying talks and helps you, a bit like a teacher, right? When you're struggling in class and somehow they rally you up, and you recognize that you have the potential to do well in a test because of what they've done, because of the way they've instilled that morale and belief in yourself, and help you recognize the potential of what you could achieve by going through this painful exam. This is what you can have on the other side of it. This is just what you have to go through right now in order to get to that place. where you are reaching your dream and you are reaching your potential. So it's a bit like a manager, right? When they're playing football and they're losing at half time and the manager goes in and rallies them all up, and then they recognize that yes, they're down right now, but if they just dig deep and they do the work and they push and they believe and they see the positive aspects of what they can do and what they can achieve on the other side of it, then if you give the right manager gives the right speech, they can come back from 2-0 down and win 4-2. So it's very much, you need to find something that inspires you. You need to find what it is that gets your fire going in you. Whether you inspire yourself or you find someone to inspire you or you're inspiring other people, it's about igniting that passion and drive so that they know, I want to be there and I know it's going to take work, but I am going to do it. It's hard right now, but I need to keep working my way through it to get to where I want to be. Anyway, I hope that is of some use to you, Taurus. Hopefully, I will see you again soon. Bye for now.